back to It's Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from MTR. It was a great video about how KS is right, how all these women are going to either adopt or buy a dog or die alone. This is such revealing truths for the future of women. Right? Let's please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And let's get to the chow. It's chow time.
I am a 51-year-old single mom who lives at home with my parents, and I'm the happiest I have ever been.
No. What? You guys hear that? Happiest she's ever been because she's finally able to have a child.
What? Come on, you don't want to go to bed? It wasn't always this way, so stick with me here. After graduating from college, I moved a lot and often far from home. I spent most of my adult life working as a broadcast journalist. I had a dream career. I worked at CNN's Headline News for 7 years. I've interviewed phenomenal women like Janet Jackson and Misty Copeland. I've lived in New York, Doha, Qatar, and
definitely that boss babe life, right?
Traveled to fabulous cities around the world. From the outside looking in, my life probably looked pretty amazing, and sometimes it was.
This is how a lot of women would view her life, yes.
Reality is more complex. I was often alone, expecting to meet a great guy and start a family. When that didn't happen, I decided at age 43 it was time to freeze my eggs. Then at 46, it was time for IVF, using those eggs and sperm from a sperm bank. You think Bumble is stressful?
Listen to the things that she's going through now in her 40s.
Well, try picking sperm. When IVF didn't work, I decided it was time to adopt. I kept telling myself the right baby would find me, but eventually realized leaving Doha could improve my odds of being matched with a baby. And that is exactly what happened. Within 8 months of leaving my dream job and moving home to my parents' studio apartment above the garage in Houston with no job lined up, I met my beautiful baby boy, Avery. The journey is not how I planned it, but I wouldn't change a thing.
Just imagine for a second leading such a successful career in front of the camera, that you worked at CNN Headline News for almost a decade, that you were able to move to all of these fantastic places such as Qatar, that you won an Emmy for all of your success. But at the conclusion of that, you find yourself so dissatisfied with life that you are then forced to live back at home with your parents so you can get the one true thing that really did matter within your life. It's crazy to me to think that this is the same archetype of woman that would say that a Kevin Samuels was bashing women based off of the things that he would proclaim to them. But at the end of the day, Kevin was right. But at the end of it, this is the exact
R.I.P. Godfather.
Same archetype of woman that would have benefited from listening to one of his streams. And I do hope for the women that negate the content in the space at least would have heard within her story that IVF did not work for her. So if you think that that's going to be a saving grace, think again. I really don't know at this point if it's just the ignorance of the West or the stubbornness of the women or the stubborn, ignorant women from the West that really think that they can live their lives independently from men and it not turn into a dark place later on in life. We are far better together than we are apart. We're far better in unity than we are in disunity.
Correct.
But that is not what is pushed in the era of monopolizing or monetizing on being strong and independent. But notice what she said, although outwardly, her IG and all of the shit portrayed happiness. She had all of the accolades of success. She was traveling all across the world. The one true thing that she longed for within her life was to have a family. And she had to travel back home at 50 years old to be under the roof of her parents to achieve that. But what stories like this never capture is what it took to actually get here. The slew of great options that she obviously came into contact with, but due to her unrealistic standards and expectations, deemed that they were not good enough for her. They never talk about that within the story. And in fact, I was taking a look at the captions over here on the side. Look even the way that they're writing it in here, all right? Award-winning journalist, big move to Qatar, but she often longed for a partner with whom she could share the experiences with. But the farther that you go, the harder it can be to find a companion to keep up. Really? It's about a companion being able to keep up, or is it about being realistic while also making yourself of marriageable material for the great options that are out there?
Correct.
At the end of the day, she chose this lifestyle. But hey, the media, BET, Instagram, and feminist rappers will continue to lie to y'all. But hey, listen, she's figuring out the situation right now as best as what she can. And at the end of the day, I commend her want of adoption after all other options have failed, because the truth is that that young boy wouldn't have had either parent if she did not come and step along, and if no one decided to step up as well. But I just can't help to think that a young boy being raised in such circumstances is going to create another son husband. Jay.
Gentlemen, if you have significant assets and you want to make sure that you keep them secure whenever you enter a marriage, don't
Definitely need to listen to this, man, especially after we just watched Chuck getting fucked. So listen to what this man has to say.
own anything. What do I mean by that? When I got married, my third time, current marriage, I got this information from a millionaire. He said, open a trust. Have that trust own all of your assets that you enter into the marriage with. Find two people that you trust, and they're the executors of the trust. You are in charge of the trust. So you give instructions to your executors, and they basically execute any instructions that you want. I chose my best friend and one of my sisters. I basically instructed those executors whenever I needed to buy or sell any asset. So everything, all of my assets were held by this trust. So when I entered into the marriage, I owned nothing. When I realized that, hey, this was a solid woman. Only when she had actually contributed to the relationship in a way where I felt that it doesn't matter if she divorced me at this point, I'd be happy to give her half. It was then that I dissolved the trust.
Besides the brother taking the liberty to put everything on the line 3 times, I would say that this is some
He did
great
it 3 times, guys.
Take all the Disney fairy tale bullshit out of it. Marriage is a business, guys. One of which you link up together to hopefully produce larger assets and as well as heirs to your throne.
Correct.
You would be absolutely ridiculous not to investigate all the different ways to protect your assets before getting into said marriage. Do not listen to the hafizes of the world that tell you, I'm okay with giving up 99% of my shit if it goes awry. That's simply bad business practice.
Me, I'm not a money guy. I'm not motivated by money. So therefore the money, like, I'm different. Everyone knows me. I'm not a money guy. So you can have all the money. I have my brain. I can start from ground zero. I'll build the money back up. I don't mind money. But to me, because it's another argument that we can.
All right, women out there, go marry Hafiz and take all of his shit because he doesn't care about it seems like.
Talk about later is that the kids is a whole different conversation. Kids are more wealth than money. So I was more obsessed with children than money because end of the day, like I said, we can talk about that later. But so to me, in regards to losing money, I don't care about losing money. Take whatever you want. If worst case scenario things happen.
The American family court system is not on your side and has been in concert with mainstream media and mega corporations for decades now, and they have no qualms about extracting what you have built over time. Get those prenups and form them trusts.
Said your name was Alex Stein?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
What I'm saying is these casinos give people free drinks and then they become vulnerable and they end up gambling more money than they have.
Yeah.
And I was a victim of that. And I lost a lot of money. And I'm facing a lot of issues right now. My wife's boyfriend recently got her pregnant. And I'm here for a church event speaking for, I'm a member of the Church of Scientology. And I don't normally drink. But I'm very vulnerable. I'm in a position now where I don't know what I'm going to do because financially I'm going to have to take care of this baby potentially because he's out on parole right now, and he has an upcoming case where he could be facing a long time in jail. So potentially, I'm going to have to financially support this baby, and I come to Las Vegas for a work event, and I get fed alcohol, and I get entirely way too intoxicated. I go to the ATM, I use my credit card. They make it very accessible to be able to gamble with my credit card. You know this, Mary Goodman. They make it absolutely incredibly accessible, Councilman, to be able to take all I have. And now I got to go back to Clearwater, Florida, and I have nothing. But the vulnerability of the tourists that come here, like myself, you're preying on people like me. And then I end up meeting a nice Filipino girl. I take her back to my hotel room. Come to find out, I cost money for her service to come to my room. Mary Goodman. I end up having a good time. We start kissing. We take off our clothes. She has male genitalia. She's a transgender. Mary, good.
Excuse me.
And you thought you were having a bad day. So for those unaware with Alex Stein, he's actually a comedian and he's actually trolling everyone that's up here. But there's a very accurate saying that says that the best jokes are based on reality.
I mean,
because everything that he highlights here, although in jest, is actually very concerning.
It's true. Everything that he did highlight is everything that does happen to men. and it's so easy for women to flip that around and make themselves be the victim in those scenarios. But as men, we're just seen as idiots.
You address some of the topics that affect men in the West. That you could be legally obligated to take care of another man's child due to your wife's infidelity. That casinos give away free alcohol to lower your inhibitions to hopefully take more of your money, but that one's more of an accountability thing. Or that trans people can disguise themselves as another gender and then sell themselves to unsuspecting.
I mean, we see a lot of stories of these transgender women not telling their husbands or fiancés or boyfriends that they're transgender, and then their parents of that boyfriend or whatever finds out, and it's just like, how long did you think you can live this lie? And you built a relationship on a total lie. Like, come on, people. Like,
Drunks in the casino, all of those things combined equals send an asteroid. But on a serious note, though, gents, listen to me when I say this and listen good. Most of your problems, one of which you have control of, is due to your inability to restrain or control yourself. Your wife's a thought rocket? Well, why'd you get married? And why'd you marry a thought rocket? You gambled all your money away? Well, why were you drinking alcohol in the casino? You got tricked by a lady boy? You guys get the idea. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. You guys are...
How are those stories? I love MTR. He's like one of my favorite creators. I follow a lot of black creators. That's just like, they relate to me. So I don't know why people seem to think just because they're black creators I can't watch them or review them, because a lot of things they say actually relates to all men. So like I said, I love MTR. I've been watching him for like 2 years now, and love that he's grown so much. Please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that, and I'll link all the videos and MTR down below also. All right, I'll catch you guys next time. It's chow time.